Perfect. Thank you. Sounds lovely. I think my hair's eating my neck.
All right, hold on a second. Eli, they're rolling. You want me to roll here? What's that? No, we're not rolling anything. They're rolling in there. It's just singles. You're not doing any movement unless they move. You can just rock back and forth, but we're just locked on. All right, we're ready out here. I blew it. I didn't counter it.
That's it.
Oh. Ben Affleck tells us he's feeling insecure, a sneak peek at the Mason Martin Margiela for H&M collection, plus what celebrity has a room filled with candy? All that and more is ahead, but first, put on your cowboy boots because we have all the highlights from last night's Country Music Awards. The annual CMA Awards got rowdy last night. For co-hosts Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood, the fifth time was certainly a charm. The veteran MCs were on point during their opening monologue, although Carrie did have to break some tough news to Brad about Taylor's latest ex-boyfriend, Connor Kennedy. Seriously, I never, ever want anyone else to host the CMAs. Taylor clearly wasn't fazed by the lighthearted laughter at her love life's expense because she was more than ready to begin again later in the evening when she performed her new single to a standing ovation. But the night's biggest winners were country power couple Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert. Between the two, they took home 5 CMAs, including matching his and her Vocalist of the Year awards, the third straight win for both of them in that category. And the most special of all, a shared writing win for Song of the Year with Over You, which honors Blake's brother who died in a car crash when he was just 14. They're like country music's prom king and queen. I will never get over them. For his part, Blake may never be able to get over last night's career high. The lovable voice judge was shocked to receive the Entertainer of the Year award, the most coveted CMA of all, beating out honky-tonky heavyweights like Jason Aldean and Kenny Chesney, host Brad Paisley, and of course, a certain pop country princess. We love it too. Congratulations to all the winners. New York City is still battling the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, but in true Big Apple fashion, the show must go on. Next week, nearly 50,000 runners will take on New York City Marathon, but Sandy has altered the course a bit. So if you're one of the racers heading to the start line, take this advice from fitness director Susie May.
When preparing for a race, it's important to train in any and all conditions that could happen on race day, including the wind. So here's a few tips for braving a windy day run. Just know that running into a headwind takes extra energy, so do expect your pace to feel a little different. If you're running into a headwind, leaning into it can help a bit with the resistance. If you're running with the tailwind, it can help you run a little bit faster, so just enjoy the help. If you're sweaty, the cool winds will make you feel colder, so wear fast-drying gear made of wicking fabric to help. Windy conditions can be psychologically rough, especially in the latter part of a race, but don't allow it to make you tense. Keep your shoulders down and your hands in soft, not tight fists. You can rely on other runners around you to create a buffer. When going into a headwind, run 2 to 3 feet behind another runner. When dealing with a side wind, you want to be inside the other runner. If you feel like making friends with other marathoners, suggest alternating being in the lead position. The more the merrier when it comes to drafting. Keep these tips in mind when running in the wind.
Stay tuned because coming up, Susie will be back to tell you how to fight leg cramps on race day. Now on to an even bigger event on the horizon, the election. Next Tuesday, voters just like yourself will be taking to the polls, but who are the celebrities voting for? Entertainment reporter Lauren Bradshaw and Trey Sugar editor Annie Scudder are breaking it down.
From Beyonce to Anne Hathaway to Eva Longoria, we're taking a look at why Hollywood supports Obama and how his famous fans could influence the election. Hey there, I'm Lauren Bradshaw, here with Trey Sugar editor Annie Scudder.
Hey guys.
We have the story for you in this Pop Sugar Rush. Obama has a ton of Hollywood support, so let's jump right in and talk about some of the big ones. Who are some of his biggest supporters?
Jay-Z has been very outspoken in his support for the president in interviews, saying that he thinks Obama is putting the economy back on track. And we know that his wife Beyonce is also a big fan of the Obamas ever since she performed at the 2009 inauguration. And she recently made an ad for the campaign praising Michelle Obama for being a great role model. Let's watch.
I'm so in awe of Michelle Obama. Every time I see her, she inspires me, she empowers me, she encourages me. Michelle, thank you so much for every single thing that you do for us. And I'm proud to have my daughter grow up in a world where she has people like you to look up to.
Well, in addition to Beyonce and Jay-Z, a ton of celebrities love hosting fundraisers for Obama. Just to go over some of the names, we have Sarah Jessica Parker, Gwen Stefani, Anne Hathaway, Anna Wintour, and George Clooney.
Yes, and Obama actually spoke about his admiration for George Clooney and his work in the Sudan recently in an interview, and Michelle Obama added that she thinks George is cute. George, for his part in return, has said that he has praised the president for his accomplishments, including capturing Osama bin Laden and repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Right, and I know Don't Ask, Don't Tell was actually something that brought a lot of Hollywood to Obama's side, and another thing that did that was his recent stance on gay marriage as well.
Yes, so Obama can count the support of some very prominent openly gay celebrities, including Ellen DeGeneres, Neil Patrick Harris, Ricky Martin, and Ryan Murphy. And on women issues, the president's stances on things like birth control and Planned Parenthood have won him the support of Elizabeth Banks and Eva Longoria, who's actually a national co-chair for the campaign.
Right. Clearly, he has a lot of support. But what about Romney? We know a few people are on his side. Can you tell us a few of those? Who's one?
Hollywood icon Clint Eastwood has endorsed Mitt Romney, saying that he can give the country the boost it needs. And John Boyd has also lent his support, although his daughter, Angelina Jolie, has not made an endorsement either way.
Well, the big question in all of this is, does celebrity support actually influence the election?
Well, there was a study in 2008 just on that topic, and it found that Oprah's support of Obama won him 1 million votes.
Wow.
But you know, the Republicans like to make fun of the president for being too cool and too Hollywood, and the group American Crossroads actually made that point in this ad. Let's watch.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think that ad may actually backfire because I thought it was hilarious.
I know, it makes him look cool, kind of in a good way.
Right. Well, what do you think though, Annie? Do you feel like, celebrity support can influence voters?
I don't think that voters are going to be influenced by a celebrity when it comes to something as important as choosing the next president. But I do think celebrity endorsements can drum up enthusiasm and get people out to vote for the candidates they're supporting.
Okay, well, and that of course is a good thing.
Definitely.
Don't forget to vote on Tuesday. It is so important. And be sure to tune into our live election night coverage starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Now, Pop Sugar editor Lindsay Miller is here to share with us why Ben Affleck is feeling a little bit insecure.
That's right. I caught up with Ben earlier this week at the Casting Society of America's Stella Artois Awards, where he was honored for the stellar lineup of actors in his movie Argo.
And he told you he's insecure. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I spoke with him at the before the ceremony. He told me he's frequently insecure and even skeptical about his work. Let's take a look.
Hi Ben, how are you?
Hello there, Pop Sugar. How's it going?
Good. Congratulations on the winning weekend. How did you celebrate the news?
Well, I was very excited, to be honest. I usually, am insecure or skeptical or try to find the worst about it, but this was just a really nice thing. A lot of people worked really hard. Dramas like this don't usually work that well at the box office. Usually it's more high concept things, and so I was just really happy, and I'm going to be able to, I cut out the little, I pasted the copy of the web page to keep it, because next time I want to make a movie like this, I'm going to try and say, hey, look, you can be successful with these movies as well.
What are you going to do next? This was a bit of a departure from your first two films.
Yes, I'm not sure. There's a couple of different things. I'm enjoying the fact that I can kind of look at some options and try to figure it out. There's one thing I've learned from working in this business that's really important to choose wisely. And there's this instinct when you get opportunities to take them. But the really smart thing is to just stop and wait and evaluate them,
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Well, he doesn't really have much to be insecure about. Argo came in #1 at the box office last weekend.
That's right, and it's getting tons of Oscar buzz. But hey, I guess it happens to the best of us.
I still haven't seen Argo yet, unfortunately.
You have to go.
I know. I got to do it.
And speaking of movies, Wreck-It Ralph is also in theaters this weekend.
Right, and our own Tara Block caught up with the always hilarious Sarah Silverman.
For your very adult humor, were there any challenges to playing a character in a very family-friendly movie?
Really, no, there weren't. I mean, I can control my mouth, and I'm not filthy 24 hours a day. But you know, I got to be able to use another side of me, you know, and channel my inner child. You know, I mean, I relate to Vanellope so much. You know, I just fell in love with her, so it was easy to play and fun.
So Vanellope is bullied about her glitch, which is seen as undesirable, but it's also what makes her unique. And do you have a sort of glitch that you're proud of about yourself?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we all have kind of glitches. We're all kind of glitches. We have things that are we see as our downfalls, and like, it's possible to kind of repurpose them and make them our superpower, you know? And I think a lot of the things that caused me a lot of pain in childhood have you know, blossomed into fruitful things for me in my life, and formed my happiness in lots of ways.
And there's some 80s and 90s nostalgia in this movie. What is it that you miss most about those eras?
The 80s and the 90s. What do I miss about the 80s and the 90s?
Anything.
Piano rock? Maybe.
Did you have any video games that you played when you were a kid?
Yeah, I loved Centipede, I loved Frogger, I loved Space Invaders, I loved Asteroids, I loved... Not crazy about Missile Command. That was always kind of the dud that came in the package. Pitfall, Kaboom, everything. And then I got into Nintendo 64 and 007 and GoldenEye, and
Those are great.
I'll stop there.
Well, and without giving anything away, there is sort of you have a couple lines about politics and government in the movie, and you're very active this election season. Can you talk a little bit about the Draw the Line campaign and why you got involved?
Well, that's about women's reproductive rights and being able to be in control of your own body. I think that's to me, a very nonpartisan issue. You know, it's a woman's issue, or anyone who loves women. You know, that abortion is a very small part of women's health, and being able to have it be affordable to people. And I think it's money very well spent by the government, and that to shut that down would be a real disadvantage to a sex that is the majority of this country.
Now on to one of my favorite topics, fashion, obviously. We've seen a ton of great designer collaborations with H&M over the years, like Versace, Marni, Lanvin, and now the retail company is adding Mason Martin Margiela, try saying that 3 times fast, to the mix. Get a sneak peek of the collection from Fab Sugar editor Marissa Tom before it hits the shelves.
So far, H&M has brought us amazing and affordable designer collaborations from the likes of Lanvin, Versace, and Marni. But this time around, they're going a little bit edgier, a little bit more avant-garde with Maison Martin Margiela. So let's not waste a moment more. Come with me. So this is my first pick. As you can see, it's not your run-of-the-mill red dress. It's anything but. It's perfect for a fancier event because you have really clean lines, which is a trademark Margiela move, but with the surprise element of draping, which kind of gives you more shape and a little bit of an edge. My second pick had everything to do with beating the winter chill, and what better way to do that than with this amazing puffer coat. Margiela is known for its oversized silhouette, so it makes sense that they would go with a duvet cover to get into the whole cozy, wintry styling mode. So what first drew me to this candy wrapper clutch is that it's totally on par with this season's love of metallics. But aside from that, it does live up to Margiela's penchant for quirky accents. And with the holidays right around the corner, this is the perfect statement accessory. And it also comes in pink. I love these shoes. They're business in the front with the classic nude pump and party in the back with a plexiglass wedge. They also come in a patent black and a patent red leather. So no matter what color you choose, with a pencil skirt, these shoes are perfect for wearing to the office. Hope you enjoyed my picks. Be sure to check out the entire collection when it hits stores November 15th.
Well, you have a little time on your hands before the collection hits stores, and all that shopping can work up quite the appetite, so why not whip up an icebox cake at home? It's a great no-bake treat that will wow your upcoming holiday soirees, and you don't have to use an oven.
The icebox cake is the easiest no-bake cake of all time. All you need is 5 simple ingredients. 3 cups whipping cream, 1 tablespoon vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons granulated sugar, 1.5 boxes of chocolate wafers, and 1 high-quality dark chocolate bar. I'm going to start by whipping my cream. And I'm going to combine my vanilla and my granulated sugar. And I'm just going to beat it in a stand mixer or hand mixer on high. You're looking for just a little bit of texture right there. See how it just sort of holds its shape? Those are perfect soft peaks. I'm going to start with just a little bit of whipped cream to keep the cookies in place. And I'm just going to smooth it into a round circle. Turn the plate and not the spatula so you can get a nice circular shape. I find that an offset spatula works really well for this. Allow about 3/4 of a cup for each layer of whipped cream. And I'm going to need 7 cookies for each layer. These chocolate wafer cookies can be hard to find, but I found them at a specialty grocery store. Check the ice cream aisle or the cookie aisle. Another thing to keep in mind is that these cookies break really easily, so I like to buy an extra box just to account for the extra breakage. Although the broken ones aren't a bad thing. They're perfect for dipping. So I start by placing the very center cookie in the middle, and then I'm just gonna go around with the rest of my cookies. Now comes the next layer. This cake makes roughly 6 layers, with an extra layer of whipped cream on the bottom and another one on top. And don't forget when you're icing to leave a little border so you can really let the cookies shine. This is my 6th and final layer. Now that I've used all of my cookies, the top layer is just whipped cream. I'm gonna be extra generous here. The very last step is dark chocolate shavings. You can add as little or as many chocolate shavings as you want. And there you have it. Some recipes call for wrapping the icebox cake in plastic wrap, but since I don't want to ruin our gorgeous presentation, I'm going to use a cake caddy instead. Now this cake goes into the refrigerator for at least 5 hours, but ideally overnight. Waiting is the hardest part. Unbelievable.
And in case your sweet tooth isn't satiated just yet, or you're not sure what to do with all of that leftover Halloween candy, take a cue from Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. We sent Lindsay over to the Cannon-Carey household to take a peek inside their candy room.
I'm Lindsay Miller from Pop Sugar, and I'm here today with Nick Cannon at his house.
Yes.
In his candy room.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what we have going on
favorite
here.
room in the house. It's going down. I mean, obviously, as you can see, it's full of candy and my favorite candy, Nerds. But it's just one of those things like we all have crazy dreams as a kid of like, oh, when I get older, I'm gonna have a candy store in my house. And you know, when I got the ability to be able to do it, I said, hey, why not? It's fun. It's kind of what I represent, and I'm a huge candy fanatic. So we just put this room together, and it's one of my favorite rooms. It's
kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So you said your favorites are Nerds then, right?
Yeah.
Does Mariah have a favorite candy?
She likes taffy, so I'll probably go with the, but you know what? She loves the soft, chewy sweet tarts too.
Yes, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Also, really good. How did this all come about? I know you said this was kind of like a childhood dream come true.
Well, because, you know, designing the house, there's a lot of different areas and rooms. One, I always wanted a basketball court, which you guys can see is the Cannon Center. And then so off of it, I was like, what are we gonna do with this area? Because this is kind of a strange area when you think about it. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and turn it into a candy room. I saw like a bunch of different stores, like they got a bunch of cool candy stores in Vegas and then like in the mall and stuff. I was like, yo, I want mine to look like that with like the white theme and the candy bins. And So we did that, and I wanted a photo booth because I thought, you know, actually this was a present that I bought for Mariah, I think, maybe like 3 years ago, because you know, we all love taking pictures and we all love having photo booths. So then I was like, all right, I'll put the photo booth in here, and we kind of built everything around it. And then, you know, my friends at Wonka filled it up with candy, and there you have
Pretty
it.
great. I love too that it's like right near the gym in the
Yes.
house. Is
Now,
that like a reminder for you?
yes,
to
it's
not
the
go
feng
crazy?
shui of making sure you stay in shape. To get to the candy room, you have to pass the gym. And to get to the gym, you have to pass the candy room.
You have done America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Did you give Mariah sort of any advice on dealing with the emotion of doing Idol?
I think that you can't really give anyone advice about that type of stuff because it's so organic and authentic. That's why I say just if it happens, it happens, because there's so many of these touching stories, and you know, it's people actually getting the opportunity to reach for their goal and possibly accomplish their dreams. So it's weighted when they walk in there and they meet you, and then for her it's probably a whole different level because they get to meet Mariah Carey. Like, you know, like some of these people, especially, you know, when they're singing, like they idolize her. They grew up listening to her music. She has such strong and compelling songs that, you know, her music actually helps them get through tough times in their lives. So I think she's used to that because she meets all of her fans and has a great rapport and relationship with all of her fans. But it's that mixed with, you know, oh my God, I have the opportunity of becoming a huge star, winning $1 million. Like, it's just these people. I kind of handle it with gloves. You got to be delicate because you don't want, you know, you're creating a television show, but at the same time, you don't ever want to hurt anyone's feelings. You don't ever want it because, you know, one statement, one word can kind of crush somebody's dreams, and no one ever wants to do that.
All that candy looks delicious, but maybe not so delicious for your skin. So if you're suffering from post-Halloween acne, don't worry. Our beauty reporter Kirby Johnson is here to help you out.
If you've ever dealt with a blemish, and really, who hasn't, spot treatments are your best friends. But which ones actually get rid of the problem? See our top picks in today's beauty review. One of the worst things about blemishes is that even after they're gone, there's a mark left over, which is why we love Clean and Clear's Advantage Mark Treatment. So it has salicylic acid in it to keep your pores clear of any buildup, but it also has glycolic acid. And what glycolic acid does is that it exfoliates the skin and gets rid of all of your dead skin cells so that the mark appears less noticeable over time. So it does dry out the blemish, but it doesn't hurt or burn sensitive skin. But one thing to note is that you might feel like your skin is dry or flaky, and if that does happen, just alternate your usage for every other day. This next product is the Motherload of spot treatments, and this brand has a huge celebrity following from Oprah, Jennifer Aniston, and Charlize Theron. It's Mario Badescu's drying lotion, and it has a few ingredients to really clear up all your blemishes overnight. One being calamine to reduce inflammation and get rid of redness. It also has zinc oxide, which is a great astringent, and of course salicylic acid to keep pores unclogged. And it's really sanitary and fun to use. You use a Q-tip and just dip it in and pull it out, and the pink sediment and the liquid helps to reduce your blemishes overnight. If you have sensitive skin, spot treatments can make your skin freak out, but this one is calming, but it's still strong enough to get the job done. And that's Burt's Bees Acne Solutions. So it has tea tree oil in it, which is a great astringent to help kill acne bacteria, but it also has willow bark, which is a natural beta-hydroxy acid, so it's gonna help keep your pores clear while also exfoliating that area so you don't have any marks left over. And just like Mario Badescu, you apply it with a Q-tip. Hopefully you'll be spot-free with these acne treatments.
Okay, I promised you marathoners we'd have some more race tips coming up, and this time, Susie is tackling how to prevent leg cramps on race day. Take a look.
Leg cramps on race day can really cramp your style. Recent research indicates that cramping is caused by fatigue, which many runners experience in the final miles of a marathon. Use these tips on race day, as well as your training, to keep those muscle cramps at bay. Along with fatigue, it's believed that dehydration contributes to cramping, especially electrolyte depletion. Along with drinking water, be sure to sip on an electrolyte-fortified sports drink during your long training runs and during the race. If you feel a cramp coming on, slow down to give your muscles a break, but don't stop. Completely stopping can allow the tired muscle to completely lock up. Gently lengthening cramping muscles can help. Try some roadside stretches to give those cramping muscles some relief. Bolting off the starting line in race day excitement can lead to exhausted muscles in the second half of the race. Go for a negative split on race day and use this strategy in your long training runs as well. Respect your training plan. You might feel the need for one more long run before race day, but take time off to give your legs a rest so they're ready for your big day.
Well, it's been a fun half hour with you guys. Thanks for watching, and keep checking back here. We'll have lots more entertainment, fashion, beauty, maybe even some candy. Throughout the day, I'm Allison McNamara. See you soon.